Hi, my name is Donald. I work for UNESCO, one of the implementing partners of the More Than Brides Alliance in Malawi. Together with Jeanette and FIPAM, we are really excited to apply for a small grant of the Learning Spark Fund. Our learning exchange is curious about the trajectory of girls' life in Malawi, where puberty leads to sex, which leads to pregnancy, and then early marriage. This pattern plays out over and over again, with 29% of girls beginning childbearing within the ages of 15 to 19 years and married before the age of 18. What puzzles us is that for over a decade, child marriage programs have responded with sex education, improving access to youth-friendly health clinics, and contraception. We saw this as the solution. However, the problem persists. Girls continue to have sex, get pregnant, and marry. There is something we're not getting in trying to break this cycle or pattern. Our learning spark came when we realized that we were missing something. So, we want to step back and look at what needs to change in our practice, and we would like to do this by learning from youth themselves at the community level. We want to go to the roots of the problem by having a better understanding of how adolescent girls' sexuality is understood by girls themselves and boys. We could shed some light on new entry points for tackling the path of a girl's life that leads to early marriage. This learning exchange allows us to test together with adolescents the idea that our own attitudes and behaviors about sexuality could be part of the problem at its roots and hence part of the solution. We plan to implement the learning exchange together with Jeanette, our implementing partner in MTBA, and FIPAM, an organization that works for the Yes I Do Alliance, organizations with many years of experience in child marriage programming. The exchange will happen in 6 TAs of the 3 targeted districts of Mchinji, Mangochi, and Nkatabe. We choose them because we already work in these areas and we have easy access to the communities there, and because it will enable us to compare regional differences across the country. On the community side, we will listen to and learn together with adolescent boys and girls. We will work with girls and boys who are or were married and/or pregnant to help us unearth how puberty and their sexuality may have influenced their decision to get married. We also want to work with youth that delayed getting married or never got married or pregnant to understand how they managed to delay marriage in spite of going through puberty and managing their sexuality. The focus will be both on girls and boys that are part of our program and those that are not. We want to learn with girls and boys about how they view girl sexuality and how we can link this to the behavior we are seeing. Once insights are reflected, captured and shared, we then move on to thinking together about how this cycle that leads to early marriage can be broken to give girls another alternative if they want it. We are really excited because this could be a really innovative way of shifting our support from a supply-driven option to one which gets at the root of girls' behavior. This learning exchange will center around one key question. How do boys and girls approach the idea of sexuality? During the exchange, youth will work in groups and draw their experiences and then share with each other. We hope that this will be an easy way for them to flag or not issues of pleasure, issues of power and access, issues of fertility and pregnancy, and how this leads to the status quo. Once they have created these pictures, altogether we can see what trends are considered to be common trends. This will guide us to the roots of the problem. Together, the whole group will draw a tree and place these themes at the roots. Then we'll reflect together and look at how these attitudes and beliefs take girls on a certain path. Is this the path they want to be on? Are there other paths? What would need to shift in their attitudes and behavior about sexuality to make it happen? We also want us, professionals working in the field, to be involved in this exercise. Professionals will also draw their own assumptions around a girl's sexuality which is underpinning the current program response. They will drop the ideas they have on what is missing. For example, lack of awareness or lack of condoms or anything else. This will be shared and discussed for learning around how different assumptions to the problem lead to different solutions. We realize that we need to start with how girls and boys see things and then look at responses to that. In this way, we can see where we're not aligned and then work together to talk about what a better approach could be. After having drawn our responses from the youth with these participatory methods in the different communities, we would like to put the results from the different regions in Malawi next to each other and analyze differences and commonalities. This we want to do in the form of organizing a workshop where we also involve a few girls from different areas to discuss different themes and come up with recommendations that would work best for them. We have also looked through the UNICEF Knowledge Exchange Toolbox and their suggested participatory methods, as you have suggested in the guidance note, and decided to use the World Cafe method for this part of our exchange. We will identify 3 to 5 key questions in preparation for the workshop, based on what trends have come out from the earlier exercise. Then, during the workshop, each key question will have its own table. Participants will be divided into small groups and assigned an initial table, and then rotate with time to each table. At each table, the host first will give a short introduction, and then participants will discuss the specific question. We are planning to have in-person meetings throughout the exchange, as long as the government regulations around COVID-19 continue to allow this. However, we will make sure that we adhere to recommended guidelines, such as frequent hand washing, and we will find a space that is large enough to practice social distancing. We think this exchange will give us a much needed, deeper insight into the life, ideas, beliefs, needs, aspirations, and challenges of the youth. We hope you'll give us this opportunity to learn from girls and boys themselves and exchange with others on this important theme.